Good morning, afternoon, and evening, my crazies. Welcome to attempt number 2 of today's live. Fingers crossed the girls will be notified and they'll be back over in a few minutes. I'm sorry I can't respond to your last comments that you had actually put up on the last live until that live finishes squidging and all the rest of it and it all comes up. So fingers crossed the girls will come back shortly. For those of you that have just jumped on, the very first live had me go telling you about the pattern behind me and how it was available over on the Ravelry store at the moment. But if you choose not to purchase it, it will be available to you in January on the channel. There is a video that goes with it that has the link to that is on the pattern. If you find any issues with the pattern, of course, if you've purchased it, give me a nudge and or an email and I will help you out and possibly fix it. Yay, Sonia's back in, Sabrina's back in. Fingers crossed, girls, that it carries on working. It was actually my what are they called, OBS, that decided it wasn't going to play. It said to me it needs an update and I'm like, not now, remind me later. I think it shut me down on purpose. Evil thing. Right, okay, so I can't remember what your comments were just before we got kicked out. I know Sabrina did say something about the yarn that I was showing you. Joe's back in. Welcome in, Joe. Oh, welcome back in, I should say. Yay. I think we've only got Ninja left to go, haven't we, for her to find us. She's probably run to the loo. Oh, accident prone elephant. Sonia was saying the C2C elephant blanket is still on her to-do list. That's the accident prone elephant. Have you won that pattern, darling? Or are you still waiting to see if you can gain a vault pass? And purple's back in as well. Yay. Right, okay, so the 3 that I showed you a few moments ago on the other live are those ones. Hold on. I need to see what I can see. There we go. Are these ones here? I'm trying to see if I can get it so that you can actually see the difference. Because as I said, I was trying a different technique, and there is actually other ones that are in between these shades. So when you put them all together, you can't see the difference. It really is. I think I need to tweak it and have another go, but and do a different method basically with it. Rita, welcome in, darling. She's saying good morning from a rainy Norway. So you've got our rain. We were on flood warnings at the moment because where I live, I've got 2 rivers that, or near where I live, I've got 2 rivers that join just up the road, and if we get torrential, or if any of those areas on that route get torrential rain, of course it goes into the river, and then when it comes to us, they meet and it goes up and up and up. And we were due a high tide because of the moon anyway last night, so everyone's sitting on tenterhooks going, please don't rain, we've had it for 4 days, please no more. And luckily we didn't get any rain last night. I haven't looked yet to see if the rivers did actually arise quite a bit. We're quite lucky, the flood defences there are pretty good. So last year the water broke its banks, and that was the first time that it got that bad, I should say, since for over 10 years. But quite a lot of the area close to where I live was underwater. Luckily the estate that I live on was built up, the ground was built up prior to them putting the houses on, so we've got floodplains all the way around us, which is why when I say, oh, I'm taking Liam to this field, that field and the other, at the moment Liam's like, it's a bog, I'm not stepping on it. Or this is a swimming pool, I don't like swimming. So he's stuck with the road walks so he doesn't get stuck in the mud. Let me see. What else have you been saying? Good morning from Rainy. Sabrina is saying it's so adorable, that one. I'm assuming you're talking about accident prone elephant. Oh, I haven't got my tablet in with me to show you an image. Yeah, Rita's saying hi to Sabrina, and then she follows up with, oh yes, we're also on a flood warning here, but not close to any rivers. Oh, that's good. Sonia's come in with, yeah, the pattern that she won on the channel. She wants to make it for her grandson with an elephant themed room. Oh, that is going to look wicked. If you use a DK weight yarn, it's going to be a really big size. If you decided to go completely crazy and use an Aran weight yarn, it could be a floor rug. Because of the size of it. But what I'd suggest, I think I've said it to you before, is to do the stitch a week 4 and 5, because that will give you an idea of how big the blanket will then be, and of course how much yarn you're going to need, just by doing those two. And then you can then decide whether you want to do it as a in a DK weight yarn, but use what's it called, the C2C mini stitch. If you use that, then of course it will make it a bit smaller, so it will be a bit more of a blanket for possibly a crib or something. I haven't done the math on it, so I'm just guessing. And then of course with a DK you could go up the extra size as well. I've even with that one, I've even got a border in mind for it as well. Have you seen the elephant border? And it's literally little elephants. And when I put the blanket together originally, I was thinking that would look so cute with the elephants going around as the border in pink. You get you got the representation there, haven't you? And then I thought, oh, how many parents would let the grandmothers and the nans get away with making this beautiful blanket and then putting the pink elephants all the way round. If you want that though, send me a message and I'll find the link to the one that I've seen. I can't remember if it's in English though, as in the verbal is in English. I can't remember if it was or not, or whether it's a case of you might have to read the instructions off screen, like off the front of the screen. But yeah, I absolutely loved that border with it. I just haven't dared make it for myself, because that would have to be one that's solely for myself, wouldn't it? Right, so where do we get to? Sonia, I am so far behind. Sorry, girls. I'll speed through them ish. Sonia is saying she just needs to finish the Xmas present first and sunflower cardigan, as the cardigan is a birthday present for her cousin coming to visit from Ireland in April. Cool. Rita's saying hi to Sabrina. And I've only got it on top chat again. Stupid me. Oh, it didn't matter, it didn't change. There was the flood. Rita's saying that they're on flood route. Yeah, I'd read that bit. Not close to any rivers. Then Sonia was that she'd won it. Okay, new comment. Sonia is saying, yes, the pattern that, oh no, try again. Neon Purple. She's teaching her sis to do C2C yesterday. She has a problem with screens and can't watch tutorials and is struggling with a written pattern. Ooh, okay. Is she more of a visual learner? Once she gets the basic idea of the 3 stitches in the box and then the flip over, once she gets past probably about row 5, she's going to speed along. I'm just trying to think which. I know you're saying she's having issues with yeah, I think probably just getting her to listen maybe to the Stitch a Weeks. Just listen to it over and over, and maybe have you sitting there just doing it and then maybe looking over your shoulder or something. That might help. Fingers crossed. If if you want me to brainstorm some more ideas, give me a shout. Send me an email though, because you know what my brain's like for remembering stuff. Where do we get to there? Oh, sorry, I should have read the next comment down. Purple was saying it was her sister was the person that taught her to crochet. So she loves helping her and loves to teach her sister something. Oh, that's cool. So basically all you've got to do is shout out the commands to her. As long as she knows, like she'll know how to do double crochet, wouldn't she? I'm sorry, my stuff's all in American terms. That's the only drawback, isn't it, to being a British channel working in American terms. But I learnt in American, so to me changing it to English is really confusing. Oh, Sonia's saying that the accident-prone elephant, sorry, I'm changing the name to what the channel calls it. It's safer that way. Accident-prone elephant C2C will be her first attempt at doing C2C. And she's going to use the DK with the mini stitch. Cool. Sonia, what I would suggest doing though before you start is making yourself a little stripy blanket using that stitch. Not blanket, sorry, a little stripy cushion. It doesn't have to have a pattern on it as such, but it will get you used to working different colours and working the rows up. I'm trying to think what else. Another way, and another one would be to find a cute simple pattern first. You're making it for a boy, so the cupcake blanket I don't think is gonna really work for you, is it? When are you planning to start making that blanket? Joe's saying that the border is really cute. I'm assuming you're talking about the elephants. I loved that elephant border when I saw it. And Sabrina is also saying yes, she loves that border. I haven't actually tried it myself yet. Good morning, Guppy Crochet. She's saying good morning to everybody. And Sabrina's saying a Guppy hello. We got a hi, Sabrina. And Sonia is saying that she prefers the USA terms. I must admit, I do, as I said, because I learned US, I prefer US. I'm now getting to the point where I can translate UK to US because I've got so many magazines, I've got no choice, I have to. But it still confuses me. Even the way some of the magazines write out the pattern, it confuses me. It's like, just give me the information I need per line, please. Don't expect me to jump from here to there to the other. So of course, when it comes to my patterns, I try my hardest to not have you jumping from here to there to the other. Try to keep it as simplified as I can. And so then it means if you were using, say you're using the corner to corner blankets, it means once you've learned how to do the corner to corner stitch, all you've got to check the pattern for is what boxes, how many boxes of each colour you need to do per row, and things like that. With the shawl pattern, it's done as I've written it how I made it, okay, and done it like that. So hopefully that one will make quite a bit of sense to you. Where we gone? Sonia is saying she'll definitely practice first. She'll only start in the new year once she's finished her other 2 whips. Yes, Purple, that's a really lovely idea that you can use a cross stitch chart for your first corner to corner. They have lots of small charts. What I would suggest with that though is that you find something that's solely block colour. No black lines in it where they use the black lines to outline. I cross stitched years ago because otherwise you've got to try and work out how you're going to add that black line to bring the image definition up, so to speak. Yeah, so Sonia's saying that with UK terms, she really needs to concentrate. I have a post-it note pretty much on any magazine, if I'm working from the magazine, I have a post-it note that says the UK to US terms, and I write it down every single time. So then when I'm working on a row, I will sit there and I'll read the first bit and it tells me what it is. I have to check the chart to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So now I pick stuff that's all one stitch and go like that. It's the only way to do it. But at the main one at the moment is I was planning to make Rob a jumper. That's Mr. Crazy. Planning to make him a jumper for his birthday. And it's a raglan style top down. I've never done raglan. And so far I've managed to do the collar section, and then it works out from the collar out and you just keep going. But I've done the collar section. Now I've got to move on to the next bit. And the pattern itself doesn't give you row counts at the beginning of that, say that first row where you're changing from one to another. It doesn't give you these stitch counts. So you don't know if you're doing it correctly or not. It's told you once in the pattern where markers have to be for different sets. And I've undone it 4 times. And I'm just got to the point where I'm looking at the yarn and I like grey normally. I don't like that ball of yarn that's sitting on my whirligig at the moment. I don't like the pattern. I've photocopied it about 4 times just so I can scribble all over it and say this is rubbish, I hate it, and all those sort of things just to get the anger out. And hubby's just gone, look, babe, it's stressing you out. You just can't get past a certain point. I've seen you undo it so many times that when that goes through the wall, she's going to shrink, and that's going to really annoy you. And I'm like, yeah. He's gone, pick something simple then. Make it up yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. Like, I missed his birthday. And he was like, don't worry about it. Don't even bother for Christmas. We'll see if I can get it for next birthday. So I might just have to give up on that for a little bit and come back to it when I've actually got my crojo and I'm in a really good mood, ready to challenge it, where the brain is actually working. Jo's got lots of cross stitch patterns. She loves Tatty Teddy. I had a massive collection of cross stitch books, well, magazines, before I started this channel. And before we moved to this house, I gave them to my eldest daughter, who took them into school and gave them, we donated them basically to the school's craft department so that they could teach kids to cross stitch or something along that lines. And then of course I took up crochet and then looked and thought, I wish I still have those magazines for inspirational purposes. But no. Tatty Teddy. Sabrina is saying that she loves Tatty Teddy too. I must admit, my daughter used to get called Tatty, and then her name after the fact, because she used to go to school looking all neat and tidy, prim and proper, and by the time when I went to pick her up, she looked like a 1960s St. Trinian. So yeah, she looked really bad, like hair all over the place, all messed up, the uniform was on wonky, the whole works. She could have easily gone on the what was it, 2000s reboot. Sonia is saying, unfortunately, she might have to disappear within the next few minutes as they have stupid load shedding there in South Africa, which is a real pain in the ear, putting it mildly. No, I fully get that, darling, because of course I pop over to Ursula's quite regularly, and she's gone through this whole explanation for us on load shedding. Ooh. Fingers crossed you got everything charged, and fingers crossed it'll only be down for a short time if you do disappear, darling. You can always play catch up. That's what I have to do. Purple is saying she's going to go to a knit and natter group and sit between a crochet. What's that? I go to a knit and natter group and sit between a crocheter that only knows US terms and one that only knows UK. So she has to translate if they talk crochet. I'd have laminated a couple of sheets and given one to each of them. Oh, one back. He's like, stop interrupting me. Yes, Sabrina is saying, oh dear Sonia, that is so frustrating. And Sonia's like, you have no idea. Oh, so Ursula's only about 10 minutes drive from you, Sonia. Oh, how cool. Have you two ever actually had a chance to meet up yet? I think my husband's trying to load the dishwasher. He's determined to do stuff with his left hand. Okay, right, that's that yarn put away. Oh, that's cool. You got to meet up for coffee some time ago. It's really nice, isn't it, when you're able to actually meet up with someone. I was really lucky when we popped over to Australia. I got to meet up with Kaz, Aussie Yarnaholic, which was brilliant because we also got to go yarn shopping as well, which I have told you all about on a previous Whips, Bits and Chat. And that was, when was that? Well, that was like last month when I went over to visit the relatives. I managed to escape for the day. And then it was, make mummy a jumper. Okay, mummy. But yeah, it's lovely when you can actually meet up with that person. This is Sabrina was saying that's amazing too, Sonia. And Sonia's like, we went to a local yarn shop first and then to a coffee shop. Sounds like a good plan. So what have you girls got planned for this week? Anything interesting? Or are we literally just hooking the week away to try and make sure that we got those presents ready? Oh, Joe. Oh, God, it was beautiful. Oh, sorry, I've skipped. Sabrina was saying, Sonia, that is amazing, such fun. And then Joe said, if you're ever in Argyle, give me a shout. Argyle is stunning. I can't think if I've been there or not. I flew up for a wedding in Scotland years and years and years ago. Beautiful wedding, beautiful area. It was actually just off. It was within about 6 months of my own wedding, and the bride and groom, the new bride and groom, told us on our wedding day that they were getting married and invited us, and they're also a military couple. And my mother-in-law overheard, and she'd probably had a bit too much wine. Well, I know she had, because at this point, to keep her quiet, I had no, hold on, no, this our wedding. She managed to get an invite. We were actually going to use it as our honeymoon, but the in-laws came along. Not a honeymoon. Well, at the wedding, my mother-in-law had a little bit to drink, and she was like, I don't understand what any of them are saying. I said, that's because they live in Scotland. They've got a thick Scottish accent. And she was like, I wonder what they got on under their kilts. I said, well, lift one and see. And she was like, you what? I said, just lift it and see. And the chap that was standing behind her happened to be the father of the bride. And my mother-in-law's there lifting up the pleats, trying to see what was underneath. And of course, the more she lifts the pleats, the more the pleats just move. Kept her quiet for a good 45 minutes while he just stood there drinking and laughing. But yeah, she didn't get to see what was under the kilt. Sonia is saying she's going to crochet as much as possible, and that's her plan for this coming week. And Sabrina's also said to Joe, if you come near her, do you want to do a meet-up? Shout for me. Yeah, because Sabrina's in Middlesbrough. She's sort of slap bang in the middle of the pair of us, actually. Got to get to yours at some point, honey. But it's not going to be this year. Purple was saying that she volunteers in a charity shop and that she's going out for her Christmas dinner on Thursday with those. That sounds lovely. And Sabrina is saying she's in Middlesbrough. Joe comes in with, it gets a bit dicey when the dancing starts though. I don't know, none of the boys managed to flash. Even with the knees flying up, because they had their sporrans on. I think I got the right word. Please tell me I got the right word then. Where are we? Sabrina is saying that to Paula, me too, but I can't go to the Christmas dinner as they won't let her son come along. That is the only problem sometimes with work dues, isn't it? When you're the sole carer and they're like, no, you can't bring the kid, you've got to find someone, and it's like, I haven't got anybody locally. Yes, I got the right word. Sporran is correct. That's cool. I hate getting stuff wrong, but I normally do. Oh dear. But yeah, even to this day, me and my husband have been married 18 years, and even to this day, I'm sitting there sober at the table with my drunken mother-in-law trying to lift, like remembering her trying to lift the kilt, and my father-in-law just shaking his head and laughing with the chap. But oh, it was quite funny, and it kept her occupied. Yeah, so today I'm on a mega wash day. Thankfully, we've got one of these air buddies, so anything that can't be tumble dried goes in the air buddy. So that's going to be on quite a bit today, because of course it's Sunday, so I've got to make sure that my daughter's got clothes for sixth form, and I've got clothes because hey, I'm back in me winning t-shirt. So this gets so much wear. It's unbelievable. I think I've got a load of videos coming up where I'm in every video that I've made for like the whole month, and it's not me being dirty, it's the fact that the t-shirt went in the wash, and then I grabbed it 2 days later, put it back on again, and then done another load of recording. So it was like 2 different days or 2 different weeks, but I'd put the same clothing on. So you're going to get to see this pink thing quite a bit. Jo is saying that she's hopefully going to go and see family in Manchester in the new year. So you never know, Sabrina. And Sabrina's like, Jo, that would be great. It would be really nice, wouldn't it, to do some sort of a meet-up. I can't say yay or nay to anything at the moment because I'm a Mr's right hand. Not just metaphorically either. Oh, another long word. Yeah, so until we know what's going on with his hands and getting them finally fixed and finished fixed so he can get on with the physio, I have to jump in to the office whenever I'm needed, basically. So that completely throws me off as well. It's like, right, tomorrow I am going to do X, Y, and Z. And he says, no, you're coming in the office and you're doing A, B, and C. And I'm like, oh, no. Yeah, because at the moment I've got half a C2C blanket sitting on the side, and I need to record the other half because it's very similar to the cupcake. So I've sort of done half of it, and then I'm going to come in and record the next bit, which will give us all of the stuff for that. I was hoping to get out this month, But of course, with hubby, that's been sitting in the sideline now for a month and a half. What are we on? 6 weeks since the accident. So that'll be another thing that will be coming out. Probably that one will be February. Will be a C2C if I can get it done in time. But it's just a case of actually setting up to do the recording and not lose my hook again. I'm down to 1 4mm at the moment, or 4.5 I should say. I'm down to 1 at the moment. I've got to go under the sofa and pull them all out again. There's a mega stash of crochet hooks under the sofa. Sorry, I was just checking on the analytics there. Right, so we've got the 4 of you that are proper concentrating on them projects for the second. And I'm trying to think what else to talk about. I'm slightly running out of things now, gang. Slightly running out. Oh, funny story from Australia. Last week I told you about the cake that my daughter had made. So now it's time for Poppy's birthday. Right, so we pop up to the restaurant, and yeah, we go up to the restaurant. We have this meal at this restaurant, and it took forever to get the food. Why do I feel like I've already told you lot? Please tell me to stop if I've already told you. Right, so we go up to this restaurant. We're sitting down at the table. My brother-in-law says, right, I'm ordering garlic bread straight away. The food is lovely, but it takes an age to get to us. So he orders the garlic bread, then orders the drinks. And we end up waiting about an hour and a half for our food order to turn up. We then eat said food. And my brother-in-law and husband had given the restaurant a cake, saying it's for their dad. Could they bring it to the table at the end of the meal, please? It's a surprise. He doesn't know anything about it. Okie dokies, Joe. Have a lovely time, darling. She's saying she's got to go. Hubby's just come home. She'll catch up on the replay later. Okie dokies, darling. Right, so we're sitting at the table and we've finished our meal. Now, the table set up has to be a certain way because, of course, at the moment my mother-in-law's in a wheelchair. So she's at the end of the table, and then you've got the family all sitting down, sort of. So you've got her here, and then you've got the family facing each other along the table. Father-in-law sitting next to her. So all of a sudden, this lad walks over, hands my father-in-law a load of plates, and says, there you go, darling, that's for the surprise birthday cake. He's standing between my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, telling the birthday boy, here's the plates for your surprise birthday cake. Okay, and we're a bit like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Didn't quite catch the whole conversation. 2 seconds later, the staff start singing happy birthday, so we join in. They put the cake that says 80th in front of my mother-in-law, and then says to her, happy birthday as well from the restaurant. My father-in-law sitting there, he's got tears streaming down his face, he's laughing so hard because, of course, the mother-in-law's got a face like thunder. She's like, it's not my birthday, it's my husband's. You've ruined it. Staff leg it. We're all sitting there laughing our heads off. And, of course, taking, having our piece of cake and things like that, and just taking the mickey out of the restaurant staff. It's like, who in their right mind brings the plates before the cake to a surprise cake like unveiling? It was just like, no, this is ridiculous. Right, so yeah, that was the last story basically from our Australia trip. Come home, catch up on replay. Right, so Sabrina said have a great day, Joe. Daphne's Creative Touches in. Hello Daphne, welcome in darling. And Ivy B Creations is also in with a hello Poppy and everybody. So everybody's saying hello to everybody else. If you girls could double check and do a thumbs up, that would be absolutely amazing. Hopefully it will notify a couple of other crazies that I'm about and that I'm here to annoy you and wake you up on a Sunday morning. So Ivy and Daphne, what countries are you in, darling? It's just so I've got a rough idea how far the reach is. At the moment we've got a crazy bunch of UKers on the chat. I'll wait and see. What else have you been up to? I'm just trying to think, what else have I got? I've not really got a lot more to chat about really, apart from the fact I've lost my crochet mojo. It will come back. Birthday cake from, see, I've got my list. Birthday cake from Oz, just told you about that one. Losing me crochet mojo, that always happens after a big project. It will come back. The new pattern release in the shop, which is this one here. The information for the shop is in the description box down below. Later on, once I'm able to, I will put a link up there for anybody that's catching the replay. And then the only other videos that came out this week were the new pattern release info video, and the Winebox Fairy Cover Part 2 and the Fun Day Die Day. That was pretty much all that was in. Oh, we got a couple of US girls popped in. Sweet. See, first thing in the morning, please tell me you've had your coffee. So that's both Daphne and Ivy have both said they're in the UK. Purple is saying it's unusual to be in a live chat in the UK to dominate. Really? Am I the only one that's still on? I thought there might have been a couple of other creators popped on by now. So is this a nice time for you girls? Because I'm trying to find a time that's going to suit as many people as possible, because on average I normally only get what, 10 to 12 people in during a live, which I love, don't get me wrong. I love the small amount of people, with because we have quite a really nice banter, but I just can't seem to find a time that suits as many people as we'd like, basically. So Sabrina is saying she was thinking the same. Knitting Purple, morning ladies. Well, the thing is, the reason I did the live today was normally I upload my whip bits and chat for 10:30 on a Sunday morning, 10:30 GMT for the girls that are abroad. So normally it means then that my Aussie girls can catch it before they go off and do bits and pieces. If you're in the UK, you can normally catch it before you head off to church. If you do church, if it's the wrong time, because I'm not a church goer, you can catch it later. And then of course our American girls can catch it when they wake up in the morning. But it's the whip spits and chats are not getting a great deal of traction. None of my videos are at the moment. I'm lucky if I'm getting, I think, what's the maximum I've had? Probably about 50 views, and I'm overestimating there on a video within the first 24 or 48 hours of putting up. I'm not getting a great deal of traction, so I know that my videos are going out at the wrong time. So I thought, well, I'll stick, like, I hadn't recorded this week's, so I was like, right, well, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to jump on a live, bug you all for a bit, and people can then catch the whip spits and chat 35 live whenever they get out of bed. But we've not done too bad. You girls have been lovely and kept me going. Ouch, Daphne, it's 6:46 there. Okay, maybe not quite the right time. Ivy's up at 5:46. And Ursula's in as well. Welcome in, darling. She says she's lurking here. Hello to... Oh, hello, darling. What time is it at yours, Ursula? Sabrina is saying, Ursula, hello. Yeah, so that was pretty much the reason for today's live was hadn't done my whips bits in chat. I'm a bad poppy. So it's still a little bit early over in the US. Are you an hour ahead or an hour behind me, Ursula? Okie dokies, Purple. She has got a food delivery on its way. Ursula's saying hi to Sabrina. Sorry, everybody. I know I normally just use your channel names, but I'm so used to chatting to Ursula that I can actually remember her name. Yay! Takes me a while, doesn't it? Okay, that's fine, Ursula. Don't worry about it. I'll read out all comments as I normally do. She's saying she's on her phone. Tagging is difficult. It's fine. Yeah, so it's quite nice to have you pop in. This is one of them really, really random lives. What else I forgot? What else I forgot? Hey, Sabrina, can I do a cheeky plug? Your video, I'm sure that video's gone out that we were chatting about the other week. Hold on, Ivy. Where are we? Ivy says it's a 5:46 a.m. for her. Okay, I had to read back a bit for this one. She hasn't been to bed. She's a night owl. Hoot hoot. Do you work night shifts by any chance? Or is she our secret vampire? Gabby is saying it's 6 a.m. Eastern Coast, US there too. I don't think you'd said a comment before then. Welcome in, darling. Ivy's just saying hello to everybody she's missed. The cheeky plug, what's that, your squares? I'm trying not to give too much away because I know we were chatting about it the other day after I came back from the hospital. There's another clue. But I couldn't remember if you put the video up. I think I've seen it, but you know me, I don't want to spill anything if it's not. Okay, where are we? Woke up. Cuppy is saying she woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and got straight to YouTube. She's not been alone while she's been crocheting. Cool idea. I must admit I do that quite a bit actually. Cuppy saying hi to Ivy. Ursula's saying a good idea, Poppy. I don't remember what that was about. And then we got the 150 here. Okie dokies, cool. Right, so Sabrina has, how do I word this? How do I word it? Sabrina put a video up earlier on this week where she's talking about little squares that we can make with either crochet and knitting or with cotton fabrics, that she's asking us to make and donate to our local hospitals for the neonatal units. So that's NICU for the UK and special care baby units if you're in other countries. And the idea behind these squares is that you make them in twos. One stays in the with the mum and she puts it in her bra so that it picks up her scent, her smell, and even down to maybe picking up the smell of the breast milk when it comes through. And then the mum takes it up the hospital and pops it into the crib so that the baby can pick up the scent of mum. And then it gets, the second one will go into the bra and the same thing happens again. Now it also means then that mum can grab the squares and have a bit of a sniff on the one that's been in the baby's crib, because then she'll smell the baby and it can help the mum to produce milk. It might sound a little bit strange. I'm probably not quite explaining it that perfectly, but if you incorporate the square, the centre of the square with a photograph, if the child is not in front of you, it does help. I think it's an absolutely beautiful idea, but please, 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 before you start making them, make sure you check with your local hospital that you plan to donate them to. 1, to see if they need them, 2, to see if they've got room to store them, and 3, to find out what fabric they prefer and what stitch pattern, if you're knitting and crocheting, they prefer. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? I don't think I've done a bad job there, Sabrina, fingers crossed. Now, any extra details, Sabrina also has a video on her channel, so you can jump, if you jump across to her channel either later or now, I'll put a link up if you're watching this on the replay that will take you through to Sabrina's video, where hopefully she'll be explaining it a little bit more than what I've managed. I have made some squares, but at the moment my local hospital isn't taking them, so I'm going to have to do a phone round and find out which ones in my area are in fact taking them and which ones aren't. But my local hospital said, I went up, I said, because I was there anyway with hubby, I went, I want to crochet some jumpers. She went, please don't, we've got a room full. I said, blankets? She went, nah. I said, booties, hats? No. She's going, no, we've got no room for anything. So at the moment, my local hospital, if you're making, say the little squares, and they bag them up and they send them to a donation site for a different country, and they can't keep everything, so that my local, which is Gloucester Royal, is basically asking people to contact them first before they even set about buying the product, the yarns and stuff that they need for the items that they plan to make, because they'd rather you use certain types of yarn so that when it arrives they haven't got to worry about sticking it in the wash and it shrinking, or a child being allergic, say you used a wool-based yarn. So that's how they what they ask us to do basically at my local one is contact us first, because it seems that where I live everybody's taken up crochet or knitting over lockdown. Okay, so as I said, the tag will be up there. Trish, bag fashion lover, she's saying hi. Hello, darling. Ever wear a plastic bag as clothing? Yes, I used to do a lot of camping, darling. So bin bags were a must as an emergency dry kit, so that you used to pull it out, make a hole for your head and your arms and shove it in, and wear them as well inside a sleeping bag to help keep you warm. Thank you, Sabrina. In the chat she has put the name of her video, which is the Bonding Squares Awareness Appeal. Gappy is saying she thinks she'll stick to jeans. Ursula's saying it's a great idea to do my whips and bits like this, then we can comment straight away. That's cheating, Ursula. The reason I normally do my whips and bits on video is because I muck up so much. So it's a nice way of me cutting it up so that you get short, sharp information, or what I've been up to, boink, 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 it's done, and there's no umming and ahhing in the middle. That's why I've always done it like that. And then do standalone lives when I can find a slot, basically. Hi Bridget, every day's in. She's saying hi Poppy, hi Ursula, hi Cuppy, hi Bridget. Sabrina is saying I did great. There is a link to the NHS document. I knew I'd forget something, guaranteed. That would have been something that I'd have stuck in later. I'd have recorded it and then cut up and stuck it in. Right, so on Sabrina's video there is also a link to the NHS document reviewed August 2021. It's a quite recent update. The next review is in 2024. Plus she also has free patterns that you can download. 4 knitting, no, yeah, 4 knitting, 2 crochet, I think. If you notice there, the eyes went funny while I was trying to remember. So yeah, so that's sweet. I think we've got all the information out to the girls that are listening now. Where are we gone? Cuppy is saying good morning to Kelly. Of course, Kelly is I Bridget, but I bring it. Sorry, I'm going to end up calling you Bridget, Kelly. You know me. Bat crazy. Right. Okay. So Trish is saying you'll never wear my name now while we're in chat. I just cut it down, Trish. Sorry, darling. I hadn't actually noticed that was your channel name. Oh, it's one of them mornings. Yay, Ninja's back. Sorry, darling, I didn't give you a Facebook message to go, I'm back. I just clicked all the buttons and hope for the best. Ursula's saying hi to Kelly. Have I ever used plastic bags as fabric for my crochet? No, I haven't actually made any plastic bag yarn up yet. But can acrylic yarn count, considering that's plastic? Oh, 8 knitting and 2 crochet squares within the free downloadable pattern from Sabrina's from Sabrina's shop. If you are solely crochet as well, of course, she's got a couple of the crochet ones there, and you could always have a nose on the Stitch a Week that I've got. Now, I did do some squares, didn't I, Sabrina? I showed you. I pulled out 7 patterns that I've got within that within that playlist that I was making up, but I was changing the pattern a little bit, as in the size of my hook, to make sure that there was no gapping. So any of the lace patterns, just ignore them. The corner to corners, ignore those as well, because there's a big amount of tweaking for the corner to corners, so that little fingers can't get between the gaps. But there are a couple in there that you might see and go, oh, actually, as long as you reduce your hook size, you should be okay. But yeah, I'll try and remember to pop a comment in the this description box in regards to those ones, if you want to add more variety and choice. Okay, so where are we? Kelly, I only got it because Ursula Republic's still got your name's still on the chat. Right, so Kelly's saying one of the crochet groups showed her how to make the t-shirt, to make yarn, I think that's meant to be. And she's saying that too, Trish. She said she's very slow at making it though. And Trish is asking, will you use it for crochet in the future? Jumping on that though, I know that one of my local crochet knitting groups, they actually do a lot with recycling plastics to make yarn, and they make mats for homeless, or mats for the local dog and cat shelters, because it means that they can be rinsed down really quickly and they dry very quickly as well. And of course, if you're laying on it, it gives you a bit of thermal insulation between the floor and your sleeping bag or your blankets. So they make those and then they hand them out to different homeless charities and things like that. Or if they see somebody out on the street, they'll give them they'll give them one of these blankets that they've made, or should I say mats that they've made with the recycled plastics. Ursula is saying that she is knitting some of her scrap blanket today. Oh, we'll get to see that during the week. Oh, Cuppy is saying that it isn't comfortable and it's known to grow mould and mildew quickly. It'd probably be cute for going underneath plants and decorations for tables though. But that is just her opinion. And Sabrina is saying, thank you so much for mentioning it today, Angela. It means a lot. Honey, you know what I'm like. I love my charities. If I can promote a really cool idea and stuff like that, I will do. It's just the same with me and the poppies. That's becoming a swear word. Poppies are becoming more of a swear word to me than what ends are. That means a lot, right? Kelly is saying, oh, nice to know, Guppy. It is stored in a small coffee can, the plan. My brain's starting to shut down. I can't remember the previous conversations. Trish is saying, nice, she's got to go. I hope we all have a good one. Thank you very much, darling. Have a lovely day today. Ah, okay, Cuppy. So Cuppy's thinking that the plastic blanket, the plastic mats that people can crochet out of bags for the homeless. She's thinking it also depends on the weather for the different areas, though. It wouldn't fare well for the humidity in her area. You're in the US, from what I can remember. Fingers crossed I got the right country. And Daphne, Creative Touch, welcome in, darling. She is saying hi to Guppy, to Kelly, and to anybody else that she hasn't spoken to. Guppy's saying hi. Good morning, Daphne. Hopefully I've got your name right. Sorry if I haven't. I am rubbish. And then Kelly is saying, hey Daphne, I'm trying my hardest, Kelly. Every time your comment pops up, I'm having to sit there and think, have I got the right name before I say it? Because I bring it to me, just looks like Bridget. You gotta love dyslexia, eh? Okay. What else? Ursula, are you still here? And have people got enough time to get a top made? What are we on? How quick is your crochet? If you can crochet in, I think it's 3 days. Is cut-off date. If Ursula still isn't here, Bridget, I know that you're the same as me. You're making some of Ursula's Granny Square Challenge tops. Is the cut-off day Sunday? Sorry, the 1st for photos to be in. Oh, Ursula's here. She'll tell me in a minute. Sabrina is saying the plastic bags are not as in great supplies as they are nowadays, so she can't crochet with the bags anymore. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed that quite a few of my local shops now, they're not giving out the plastic bags as we would know them. What we're actually getting now is recyclable ones that you can put into your food waste caddy. That is basically what I get from my local shops if I forget my almighty bags. My ones like that for me shopping bags. If I forget those and I have to purchase a plastic bag that's not even plastic, they're the ones I seem to be getting, is the ones for your food caddy waste bags. I haven't seen a lot of the old plastic ones that say I would have got if I'd gone down the market back in the day. So December the 1st. If you are a speedy crocheter and you want to join in on a really cool giveaway prize challenge thingamy-bob, Ursula's got a really cool one at the moment where you've got the choice of working one of 2 of her top patterns. There's 2 patterns to choose from. You can mix and match depending on what you want to do. Now, I've done her granny square sweater, but I have mixed and matched the sleeves. So the sleeves are from one pattern, the body is from the other pattern, and my clothes is a little different, just a little different to hers. And what she asks is, if you pop over and have a nose, you've got a chance, there's a chance. I think the tops are from 5 and up, so you could get away with making a couple of tops for family members that are a lot younger. And you can also, if you make them, make sure you take the photographs and email them to Ursula. That's the only way your entry counts, is through email. Please be correct, please be correct. Ursula, tell me if I'm wrong. And you've got a chance then of winning a 50 bucks American, isn't it? 50 American. You're basically, your entry goes into the draw. And the last day to send in your entries is the 1st of December. So fingers crossed and good luck to everybody. As I said, I will link it up there if I have a room, and there'll definitely be a link in the comment section, not the comments section, sorry, the information section underneath this video. Once I go into replay, that is, because I'll have to set it up, because I am not jumping off screens at the moment. I'm going to end up mucking something up otherwise. So sorry, I'm just writing it down myself so I remember. Yeah, so your last chance to enter that is the 1st of December. You've got a couple of days. Good luck. Let me see. So we've got Ursula saying 1st of December is the last day. Sabrina pops in with, she thinks in the new year she needs to start something from Ursula's patterns. Ursula's got some stunning ones though. Here we go. Ursula's given me all the full details now, right? Is email a picture to be entered. One of the girls actually makes a sweater in 3 days. Crikey, she's a speed demon. It's easy because it's just a granny square stitch, and she'll be drawing 3 winners. Sorry darling, I forgot about the 3. So it's 3 winners, and it's USD of 50 bucks each. Wow, I'm just happy with me jumper. But yeah, so your jumper could look something like this. It will look a bit different. As I said, this section is a little bit different. Mine is closer in than what Ursula's pattern is, because because hers has got a more rounded, longer necky bit there, whereas mine is a bit closer. So it's a bit of a mix up. And then the sleeve is from the other pattern that she's got. And then of course Ursula is saying that's right, you can mix up the 2 tutorials, which is pretty much what I did. Yeah, mixed them up and then added a cuff to the sleeve. So yeah, that was my main change, was a cuff. I'm trying to think which whips and bits I spoke about it on, where I gave you all the breakdown for my one. I'll see if I can remember, and I'll pop that in the description box down below at a later point. Okay, what else we got? Got that? You know about that, you know about that, you know about that, you know about the comp, you know about the other bit. Has anybody else got any news they want to share? We might as well have a bit more of a sharing frenzy. If anybody's got anything else that they want to share, and tell me now. I'm sorry, I'm not up for sharing links at the moment, because I'm not on the same platform for recording and stuff as others are. And of course on my main one I've got links blocked, so that those annoying people that come in and share links to sites that we don't really need, because we know of better places to get that sort of stuff. But because I've got it set up so that my links are blocked, it means it's also blocked on my chat at the moment as well. Okay, so I think that's all of the information that anybody wants to share at the moment. Anybody got any surprise videos are coming up this week that you want to tell people about? No? Okie dokies. Right, so I'm gonna start saying my goodbyes. No thanks, Ninja. I love ya, but no. She's starting to share her flu with us, gang. Do we really need that much snot in our life? Not in a moment. Ashley was saying it took 6 days, but she is a 2XL in size. I can't remember how many days mine took me now. But that's, I think, the 20. I've got 27 in my head. Hold on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 27. Yeah, mine's 27 rounds. So I think it took me about 4 days. But I worked the front and the back at the same time, so I could have them looking exact, because it was meant to be scrappy. I can't handle scrap. I can't handle it if there's not some order to it. I'm getting better, but I'm still not quite there. That's the closest I've got so far to not having order in something. So that was a definite boundary break, that one behind, but I love the way it's turned out. And fingers crossed, get well as soon as possible, Ninja. Ooh, Bridget, has that tutorial gone up yet, honey? She's saying she has a tutorial for lady fingers that she just did. Is that cooking? The lady fingers biscuits, or is that something completely different? Bridget, it's not Bridget Ange, it's Kelly. Kelly said no thank you to Ninja. And Ashley was saying, will this be a regular live stream? I'm not 100% sure yet, Ashley. At the moment, as I said, this live stream was to make up for the fact that I haven't recorded the whips bits and chat 135. I used to do my live streams on a Tuesday evening at 7 GMT, but there's a lot of competition, isn't there, for that sort of time in the evening. And I don't want people to have to choose if they don't have to. So it's a case of me trying to work out where a timer would suit. At the moment it's looking okay, but I'm going to have to go back to YouTube and see what other if any other creators that I know of have jumped on at the same time. And then go from there, basically. Ninja's saying thank yous, and Kelly is saying that the tutorial, it's up now for the lady fingers. Is it biscuits, or is it something crochet related? Because I know you do so many different crafts, I can't keep track. Yes, Ursula, it's bad, isn't it? She's saying she can't believe that we're entering December this week. Yeah, I spoke to my dad earlier on in the month, last week actually, and I said to him, "Do you want a jumper?" He said, "No, thank you." I said, "Do you want a scarf, cowl, gloves, anything I can make?" He said, "No, thank you. Your mum's on it." So my mum's knocking up hats and scarves and things. She knits, but she only does the knit stitch, only the one stitch. She doesn't want to learn any new stitches. She just does the one stitch. So at the moment she's complaining about making blankets and stuff. I tried to talk her into giving me all her hooks and needles when she, not hooks, sorry, all her sewing, knitting needles and things, when she said she was going to quit. But I didn't get them in. I didn't get up there in time to grab them. So, yeah, so I haven't really got, apart from Rob's jumper, Mr. Crazy jumper, that I really don't want to do, I haven't actually got any Christmas projects lined up that need to be done within 25 days, thankfully. But yeah, this year has gone extremely quickly. As Sabrina said, yes, time is going so quickly. Yes, I got it right. Ladyfingers are the biscuits. I'm trying to think, who have we got left in the UK here? Don't we use lady fingers to line our bowls when we make a trifle? I couldn't risk doing Nanny June's trifle. That's the mother-in-law. If I did her trifle, we'd be drunk for a week. When I remember she tells us the story every Christmas that she was making a trifle, and it was the first time she'd done it, and she got the gin and she drizzled the gin over the ladyfingers. But of course they soaked it all up, and she was like, well, it said here that it asked that they're meant to be covered. So she did. She just kept pouring and they kept soaking, and she kept pouring, and then it was floating, and she was happy with that, and then she carried on with the rest of the trifle. Everybody was paralytic. Oh, Sabrina is saying it's her boy's birthday coming up and she's got nothing yet. You got no? Is that because you've got no ideas, or the tinker hasn't given you a list? Ouch. I haven't actually got anything for Christmas. Well, actually, that's a lie. We've got a couple of stocking fillers for Christmas that we picked up at Asda's the other day, but I haven't got anything else yet. I was trying to talk my daughter into not buying a certain game I know she wanted, so that I could get it for her for Christmas. But they bought it yesterday. My husband does it all the time. If he can find a good deal, he'll buy it there and then, but he's no good at withholding surprise information. It was a miracle that his parents didn't find out that we were going to Australia. He actually stopped talking to them. As soon as he had brought those flights, he stopped talking to them for about 3 weeks. They thought they'd done something wrong. But he literally said, no, I didn't speak to you over FaceTimed you, because I would have told you. I would have let it slip. And so that was that. There we go. Birthday coming up. Yay! So Kelly is on finishing part of her granny sweater. Ninja is saying trifle. I thought it was, darling. Gotta go. Catch up soon is saying our cheeky Ursula. Bye, darling. Have a lovely day. Everybody is saying goodbye to Ursula. Ninja is saying she's barely done any Christmas shopping. As I said, I've done squat diddly so far. Squat diddly. That's the problem, isn't it? Once they get to a certain age, you can't just hand them over tat and rubbish anymore. You have to put some right thought into it. But I've got issues with my dad, with my husband. They both don't ever want for anything, and if there's something they need, they go and get it. So it's really hard. They don't like extra tat and rubbish just being bought for buying a present's sake. It was like, my dad has actually, over the years, he set me a challenge years and years ago when he knew I was on limited funds. It's called the 50p. And it was a 50p challenge. You could only buy him a present if it was 50 pence and under, which back then wasn't too bad, because we are talking 23, 24 years ago. I could get stuff for 50p. I've now asked him to up it, and he said 99p, because then I can't cheat and go to the pound shop. But it is literally, you have to go searching for that one special thing that's only 50 pence. So he knows then that you've put the effort in and you've used your imagination to find something. I think my best one so far was he got a bottle of Baileys for Christmas with the receipt attached, and he was like, this isn't right. It wasn't a proper Baileys, it was a knockoff version of Baileys that you get from Morrison's. And he said, how'd you manage to do this? I said, look at the receipt. He's looked at the receipt, and basically I'd got a money off voucher. When you've collected enough points, you get like a £5 off voucher, and this bottle was £5.50. So I picked up the bottle of Baileys and paid 50 pence for the bottle. I said it just meant that I had to spend X amount of money getting the points to get the freebie for the bottle, but it worked, and he was quite chuffed with that one. Another time I've done pound shop shopping after Christmas and picked up bits and pieces that were like reduced to 10 pence, and so he got 5 little presents for Christmas for his 50p, and he's literally just trying to find stuff like that. So what was it, a couple of years ago, I actually made him a hat and cowl set. I was using Bod's patterns. Which one was it? It was, don't ask me for the number, but it was the chocolate bonbon hat, and then I'd recopied the pattern and I had made a cowl that matched. And he said to me, he said, that's not right. How did you manage to do it? I said, well, I already had the hooks. I said, and I got the yarn from Marketplace. It cost me I think I'd spent a £5 on a bag of yarn, and it worked out that each ball was 50 pence, and so that's how I got it done that time. But I'm really starting to struggle now because I've got no ideas what to get him or Mr. Crazy, because neither of them want anything. Ninja is saying that she is all done on her Christmas shopping. You is a show-off girl, a show-off. Right, I think I am going to have to go and start searching for prezzies and things like that. So I've been on this chat for 1:16. I think the other one was about half an hour as well. So I think I've talked to everybody's ears off now. So I'm going to head off now, and I will see you all really soon. Please remember, stay chilled, stay happy, and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody. Which button do I push first? That one.